हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna again. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to today's program. Welcome you all. And we have quite a few devotees already joined. I see Padmanabh das prabhu from Harrisburg. Thank you, Prabhu, for joining. Subrat, Ajay Prabhu, and Neena Mataji, Anil Uncle, Smita Auntie. And we have a new guest with us, Ariana, from, I think, New Jersey, you said, right? Thank you. And with her, we also have Jack. And they somehow came to know about the program. And very nice to have you, both of you here. And we have Madhu Mataji, Amar Prabhu, Mamina Mataji, and Tung Vidya. So I was getting introduced to Ariana and Jack a few minutes back. And we were discussing, and sounded like they already have a good background of bhakti. And I saw you were enjoying the chanting also, the mantra meditation, a few minutes back. So a pleasure to have both of you with us today. And as I was telling, every week, usually we discuss Bhagavad Gita, the verses from Bhagavad Gita, we discuss their translations and meaning. Today, we have a special program where we are going to discuss about Lord Balaram, who he is and what is the importance of Lord Balaram in our spiritual life. As we were discussing a few minutes back, in any spiritual practice, it's very important to have a spiritual master, a guru, a mentor. And Lord Balaram, who is none other than Krishna himself, he represents that spiritual master, that guru. We will hear from His Grace Padmanabh das prabhu, and how Lord Balaram helps us in our spiritual practices. So without taking more time, I will hand it over to you, Prabhuji, His Grace Padmanabh das prabhu. And I gave you the permission to share.
So I can share my screen, right?
Yes, Prabhu. Let me unshare myself.
Let me know, please, when you're able to see this.
Yes, we are.
Can I quickly take this call if you don't mind? I just want to.
Yes, no problem.
How do I mute this? Here it is.
I can mute you.
Sorry. Okay. Is the screen visible, Prabhu?
Yes.
And there's not much to see on the screen, but we just wanted to share some slokas from Srimad Bhagavatam. And I thought it's better to put it on the screen so it's visible. So we'll start with Mangalacharan prayers. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Itinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivash Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. And thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to serve by reading together with you, by listening together with you about the glories of Lord Balaram. Lord Balaram's appearance day was just a few days ago. And it is pretty much followed by appearance day of Sri Krishna, and then appearance day of Srimati Radharani. So the whole month is full of wonderful auspicious days, days where we can try to make a lot of spiritual progress by trying to humbly serve and understand about the personalities that are appearing on these auspicious days. I'm not going to go into detail as to what is the position of Lord Balaram and so on, because numerous times we have talked about how Lord Balaram is the first expansion of Sri Krishna, how Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and so on, and how Lord Balaram is not different than Krishna in almost all the ways. Srila Prabhupada, this is one of my very favorite picture, and this picture is from Sri Vrindavan Temple, Krishna Balaram Temple, Vrindavan. And Srila Prabhupada very kindly inspired the devotees to worship Krishna and Balaram in this form. Before this, I doubt if Krishna and Balaram were worshipped in this form in a temple environment. If you try to see very closely how Krishna and Balaram are standing together, you can see that they're both very intimately connected with each other. Balaram, being the elder brother, he's standing with his left elbow resting on Krishna's shoulder. And both of them are standing with their feet crossed. Krishna is playing flute with one hand. Another hand, Krishna is skipping on his waist. Balaram, his elder brother, he's standing with his left elbow resting on Krishna's shoulder. So Balaram is leaning a little bit on Krishna's shoulder. It's you may not see this kind of scenes very much today, but when I used to grow up in India, it was a very common thing that two friends, when they would walk together, they would put their arm around the other friend's neck and they would walk like that. And in Gujarati or Hindi, when they would walk like this, we would say, "Hare hum yaar hai na," so meaning we are friends. So they just walk with their arms wrapped around other person's neck. It is a show of love and affection. Sometimes I remember growing up with friends, and this is very common in India, where the friends, they hold the hand of the other friend and they keep walking from point A to point B with the hands held together. And they just talk about things. And it's just a gesture of, loving somebody just like a brother or more than a brother. And Krishna and Balaram, in many, many paintings that Srila Prabhupada requested the devotees to paint, because Prabhupada, when the devotees were painting, Prabhupada would give them the ideas that this is how you should paint Krishna, this is how you should paint Balaram. We have to remember that the devotees in the early time, they were just being introduced to Krishna, Vrindavan, Radharani, and so on by Srila Prabhupada. And I remember reading that, sometimes one devotee, he made a nice painting of Krishna. It was a beautiful painting of Krishna, and he was standing. And Prabhupada looked at the painting and he says, "This is very nice, but this is not Krishna." And he says, "Prabhupada, what is wrong with it?" And Prabhupada said, "Krishna is never alone. He's always with somebody. Either he's with a cow, or he's with some monkeys, he's with some birds, he's with Radharani, he's with his Gopa friends, or he's with Balaram. But Krishna alone, that's not Krishna, because he doesn't like to be alone." So that is how Prabhupada used to guide, that Krishna's fingers are very thin and lean, and his nails are supposed to look like this, his smile is supposed to look like this, his eyes, his cheeks, his eyebrow. And similarly, Prabhupada guided the devotees to install the deities of Krishna Balaram in Vrindavan. And it is such a beautiful, Krishna Balaram is standing in the central altar in Vrindavan. And the Krishna Balaram temple in Vrindavan is in an area called Raman Reti. Raman means to play or to enjoy, and Reti means sand. Krishna and Balaram used to daily go there to herd the cows. And as the cows would be herding, they would play there with the gopas, they would wrestle with the gopas, they would play. Many pastimes happened at that place. So that place is basically a pastime place for Krishna, Balaram. And the pastimes, it is called Sakya Bhav. Sakya, there are 5 different kind of emotions in bhakti: Santa, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. So Sakya is like a friendship or brotherly, but with Balaram, Balaram is like a parent to Krishna, and Balaram is like a friend to Krishna. So when Balaram needs to, rebuke Krishna for something wrong, he becomes strict and he tells that you should now not behave like this, Krishna. This is not good. You're a son of Maharaj Nanda. And then they both play with each other as if they are very close friends, and they are very close friends, right? So Balaram is exhibiting 2 different bhava of love, 2 different emotions of love towards Krishna. One is of Sakya, which is friendship. Another is Vatsalya, which is paternal. He's like a father. He's like an elder brother, a father to him. And this is Srila Prabhupada doing arti for the pleasure of Krishna Balaram. And go to Google and search for the picture of Krishna Balaram, and then search for the biggest picture you can find. And you will find this picture, and try to enlarge this picture and see the emotions on Srila Prabhupada's face. You know, his eyes, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. When you see his eyes, they are glistening with tears because Prabhupada is so happy seeing Krishna and Balaram there. Actually, Pratima nahi tumi sakshat Vajendra Nandan. Prabhupada, when he sees Krishna and Balaram, he's not seeing, somebody, two deities made out of marble. He's seeing the son of Maharaj Nanda, Krishna, and Balaram standing in front of him, and he's offering prayers to them. So this is a very intimate temple, very dear to Srila Prabhupada, and one of the Prabhupada's, showcase project, if I would say. And really, Prabhupada changed the whole, landscape of Vrindavan after building Sri Krishna Balaram temple. If you go to Vrindavan ever, please take darshan of Krishna Balaram, and you can see and you can understand and experience the emotion of Srila Prabhupada when he established the worship of Krishna and Balaram over there. This is another picture of Krishna and Balaram, very intimately dressed. You can see the lotus feet, how they are crossed, how Balaram is standing with his one hand, down, hanging, with a flute or a stick in his hand, another hand on Krishna's shoulder. Krishna is standing with his, left elbow resting on his waist, and then he's playing, flute with his one hand. And this is everyday pastime that happens at that location. Vrindavan is, they call it, there's no English word for this. Vrindavan is Nava Vrindavan. Every day, the pastimes of Krishna, the gopis, the gopas, Radharani, Nanda Baba, Yashodamai, Balaram, it happens over there. It is continuously happening, as if Krishna never left. And Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. Vrindavana parigachati padekam na. Krishna does not take a 1 feet out of Vrindavan. He always stays in Vrindavan with his associates. So Krishna and Balaram today also, they play in the sands of Ramanreti. Right? We may not be able to see it with our eyes, with this eyes, but with the eyes anointed with love and bhakti, premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena, santa sadeva hridayesu vilokayanti. The devotees, hridayesu vilokayanti, they can see it from in their heart. Just like so many small microbes we cannot see with our eyes, but premanjana churita bhakti, when they put the ointment of love of Krishna bhakti in the eyes, just like when we put a microscope underneath our eyes, we put a different medium through which our eyes can see those things. They become visible. Or things which are very far away. When we put a telescope in front of our eyes, it makes it visible. Similarly, the souls who are anointed with the ointment of love towards Krishna, bhakti, which is called bhakti, when it enters into the eye, that's when they can see these pastimes happening every day. Then they don't see the concrete. They don't see the tar roads, the concrete in Vrindavan. They see Krishna and Balaram. And it is Balaram who helps us see it that way, because we every day, we utter this shloka, Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Nama. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Guruve Nama. Tasmai Sri Guruve Nama. What did he do? He took me out from the darkness of ignorance into the light of knowledge. How? Ajnanatimirandasya, from the ignorance, the light of, from the ignorance, the darkness of ignorance. Jnananjana Shalakaya, Jnana Anjana, with the knowledge of bhakti. He put the ointment of knowledge of bhakti, Shalakya, it's a small stick. He put it in our eyes. He used that. He put it in our eyes. He anointed our eyes with bhakti. And because of that bhakti, we are able to see Krishna and Balaram having pastimes on a daily basis. And that Balaram, just like Dhir Krishna Prabhu was explaining just right before we started talking, is the supreme spiritual master himself. From Lord Balaram comes all the spiritual masters. The spiritual master may look, different. There could be 50,000 different spiritual masters in different sampradayas, in different spiritual institutions. But they are all extension of Lord Balaram. They are all franchise owner of Lord Balaram. Actually, Lord Balaram operates, Balaram operates through them. He may be Kratu Maharaj, or he may be called Radha Govind Maharaj, or he may be called Jaipataka Maharaj. But within Jaipataka Maharaj, within Radha Govind Maharaj, within Kratu Prabhu, Balaram manifests and empowers them to represent him as a spiritual master. Therefore, devotees should never see that, oh, he's somebody else's spiritual master, he's not my spiritual master, because they just look different outwardly. Inwardly, just like you go to Dunkin' Donut and you eat the donut at any donut shop, they all taste the same, because inside it is the same, element, Lord Balaram manifesting. So today we are going to talk about that expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna's first expansion, Sri Balaram, and we'll try to glorify him. So in Srimad Bhagavatam has 12 cantos, and it is said that the first canto is like the lotus feet of Srimad Bhagavatam, and the 12th canto is the head of Srimad Bhagavatam. So the Bhagavatam 12 cantos, each and every canto is compared to a body part. The 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is considered to be the heart of Srimad Bhagavatam. And in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is the pastimes of Krishna and all his associates, Srimati Radharani, the Gopis, the Gopas, Sri Balaram, Sri Vasudev, Devki, Nanda Baba, Yashodamai, and all the Parikar, all the associates of Krishna, they are glorified, because Krishna cannot have pastimes alone. And therefore, 10th canto is glorification and pastimes of Krishna and his associates. So in the beginning of the 10th canto, there are few questions asked by Parikshit Maharaj. It was day before last. Parikshit Maharaj had 7 days to live. It was day before. There were a few days left, only a couple of days left for Parikshit Maharaj, and he's asking those questions. He's asking few questions in the beginning of 10th canto, and the remainder of the 10th canto is the answer to those questions. One of the first question he asks to his spiritual master, which is Sukadeva Goswami Maharaj, is Rohinias Tanyas Prokta Rama Sankara Sanastvaya Devakya Garbha Sambandha Kuto Dehantara Vina. Rohinias Tanaya. The Tanaya means one who has come from the body of Rohini Tanya. Rohini was one of the wife of Vasudeva. In 9th canto, the last chapter of 9th canto, the whole hierarchical or the whole lineage, how Krishna, his parents, and Vasudeva, Devki, how everybody appeared, and the whole lineage is explained. And in that, it is explained that Vasudeva, Sukadeva Goswami names all the wives of Vasudeva. So one of the wife of Vasudeva is Mother Rohini, and at that time, he had described Balaram as the son of Devki, and he has also described Balaram as the son of Rohini. So Parikshit Maharaj is asking that you call Balaram as the son of Rohini, but then once you call Balaram as the son of Devki. How did that happen? Rohinyastanya, he appeared from the body of Rohini. Proktaha Rama Sankarstanastvaya. Proktya means to came. Ramaha is the name of Balaram. Rama means one who can give a lot of happiness is Ram, or one who is always very happy. So Rama and Sankarsana. Sankarsana means one who can connect by attraction, or one who was pulled from one place and put into another place. That person is also called Sankarsana. And Krishna's first expansion in the spiritual world, Vasudeva, Anirudh, Pradyumna, and Sankarshan, That Sankarshan from that expansion came. He's Balaram, and Balaram manifests as Sankarshan. So he's saying, Rohinas Tanya Prokta Ramaha Sankarshanas Tvaya Devakya Garbha Sambandha. He was first in the womb of Mother Devaki. If he was first in the womb of Mother Devaki, how did he born? How did he appear through Mother Rohini? Kuto dehantaram viha. Kuto how? Dehantaram vina. How did this happen? How did he got transferred from Mother Devaki to Rohini? And how did he get the name of Sankarshan? Can you please explain to me? So to that, Sri Sukadeva Goswami later on in 10th canto, in the following verses, he starts explaining. And then he starts explaining how Mother Devaki was being wed with, there was a marriage ceremony between Vasudeva and Mother Devaki, and how there was this Akashwani, the declaration from the sky that Devaki's 8th child will be the killer of Kansa. So after knowing that, Kansa had imprisoned Vasudeva and Devaki, and he started killing all his children. So actually, first Kans imprisoned Devaki and Vasudeva. Then Vasudeva explained to him that, look, if you imprison us, people will say, you're such a powerful man, and out of fear of your sister, or you're imprisoning your sister and your brother-in-law, it's not good for your reputation. So Kans said, okay, I will, have you live in your palace, but I'll keep an eye on you. And every time they had a baby, they would go and give the baby to Kansa, and Kansa would kill him. Then, eventually, when the time came for Lord Balaram's appearance, Kansa had imprisoned Vasudeva and Devaki, and he was being very cruel to all the wives of Vasudeva. At that time, Mother Rohini, who was one of Vasudeva's wife, and other wives of Mother Rohini of Vasudeva, were sent to Vrindavan secretly, without Kansa knowing. And overnight, they were sent to Vrindavan. If you think about the relationship between Vasudeva and Nanda Baba, the father of Krishna, they both are connected at the top. The great-grandfather of Vasudeva, he had 2 wives. One wife was from the Kshatriya, or from the warrior class. Another wife was from the cowherd family. The children that appeared from that wife, from the cowherd family, eventually Nanda Baba comes in that family. And the children who appeared from the Kshatriya wife, Vasudeva Maharaj comes from that. So they are both brothers in a way, Nanda Baba and Vasudeva. So they are very close friends also. So Vasudeva trusted Nanda Baba. So Sukadeva Goswami talks about Mother Rohini, that when Kans was increasing his atrocities, Gacha Devi Vrajam Badre Gopa Gobira Alankritam Rohini Vasudevasya Bharyaste Nanda Gokule. So Gacha Devi, Mother Rohini, Vrajam Bhadre. Where did she go? Vrajam Bhadre. The word Bhadra is used for Vraja. Vrindavan is the most auspicious place in the world. And actually, we will then look at some other slokas from, there's a book called Gopal Champu, which is written by Sri Jiva Goswami. And he explains why Vraj become Bhadra by Rohini's presence. But even without Rohini's presence, before that, Vraja is Bhadra, because Bhadra means something very auspicious. Gacha Devi Vrajam Bhadre, Gopa Gopir Alankritam. And how is this Vrindavan described? It is Alankritam, ornamented by Gopa Gopir. Gop means the cowherd man, and Gopi is cowherd woman. They were the ornaments, ornaments of Vrindavan. And when there is cowherd men and cowherd boys, cowherd girls, then it is automatically understood that cows, buffaloes, and all other animals are there. Gopa Gopir Alankritam. They are Abhir. They are also called Abhir. So Gopa Gopir Alankritam. Rohini Vasudevasya Bharyaste. Rohini Vasudevasta. So Rohini went there, and Vasudevasya Bharyaste. All other wives of Vasudeva also, along with Rohini, they went Nanda Gokule. They went within Vrindavan. There is a small place where Nanda Maharaj is living. So that place is called Gokul. And Gokul means, Go means cows. Gokul means a place where there are hundreds of thousands of cows. So Nanda Maharaj had hundreds of thousands of cows, and therefore that place was called Gokul. So Mother Rohini was sent to the Gokul where Nanda Baba used to live. Anyascha Kansa Samvigna Vivresu Vasantihi. Kansa Samvigna, due to the atrocities of Kansa, already some other wives of Vasudeva Maharaj were also staying there. Anyascha Kansa Samvigna Vivresu Vasantihi. They were already staying there. So Mother Rohini with other wives of Maharaj Vasudeva also went there. And after going there, Devakya Jatare Garbhan Sesakhyam Dhama Mamakam Tatta Sanni Krishya Rohinya Udare Sanni Veshya. So after Mother Rohini goes there, at the same time, Mother Devaki is in her womb is sitting Lord Balaram. Sankarshan is sitting in the womb of Mother Rohini. So now Krishna is worried about Lord Balaram, and he's saying that Kansa is killing all the newborn childs of Mother Devaki. He doesn't want Balaram, to be bothered by Kamsa Maharaj. So Krishna, asks Mother Durga or Mother Yogamaya, and he says, I need a favor from you. I need you to do me one thing for me. And she says, yes, my lord, what can I do for you? He says, Devakya Jatare Garbham. There's an embryo in the abdomen of Devaki, Mother Devakya Jatare Garbham. Sesakyam Dhama Mamakam. Sesa, Lord Ananta Sesa, is residing in the womb of Mother Devaki. Dhama Mamakam. What is Krishna saying about Balaram? He's my Dhama. Lord Balaram manifests himself in various different forms to serve Krishna. One of the forms that Lord Balaram manifests as is his Dham. His Dham means his place of residence. The whole Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan, and also the Vrindavan Dham is an expansion of Lord Balaram. Lord Balaram, out of love, expands into the place of pastimes for Krishna. So Krishna is saying, Sesakyam Dhama Mamakam. Tatta Sannikrusya. Tatta Sanni means very carefully. That Balaram, that says, Ananta says, who's staying in Mother Devaki's womb right now, Sanni very carefully, Krishya, attract him. Attract him out of Mother Rohini's womb, Krishya, Rohinya Udare, and place him into the womb of Mother Rohini. Sanni Veshya, very carefully, so that Lord Balaram is not inconvenienced. And he says, if you do this for me, then I'll give you one more service. Because you do this big favor on me, I want you to take birth from my mother Yasoda's womb, and you will be worshipped later on with many different names like Mother Durga, Kali, Chamunda, and so on. And there are a lot of people will worship you. And there were many, many festivals in your honor. So from that time and onwards, Mother Durga and her festivals came into existence. So Mother Durga, by her potency, she attracted Lord Balaram from Mother Devaki's womb, and she placed him carefully into Mother Rohini's womb. This pastime is very nicely described in Sri Gopal Champu. In Gopal Champu, it is explained that how did Samudbhat Kansa Roshena Jati Chita Sosena Krupa Paridevena Vasudevana Prahita Vrajhita Vadva Rohini Gupta Majagam. Due to the atrocities of Kansa, Mother Rohini sat on a horse and she came Vrindavan riding a horse overnight from Mathura. And when she came, Yasya Magataya Parampati Vrataya Sarva Evam Vrajaraj Samaja Subha Sukana Sankala. Because Mother Rohini is Parampati Vrataya, she's very devoted to Vasudeva. What was the effect? When she came, Vrajaraj means Nanda Baba's house, Raja Samaja, all his house and all the surrounding area, Subha Sukana Sankula, they started having Subha Sakun. You know what is Subha Sakun? That is those are the signs of something auspicious to happen. It is said that when the right eye of a man starts flickering on its own without, any reason, or sometimes you'll feel that some of the places in your right arm, it starts, behaving like it has a pulse, or in your right leg, you feel like there is some pulse. When you can see experience some pulse like in your eye, in your arm, or in your leg. When that happens, according to the scriptures, it is considered an auspicious omen, right? It's considered an auspicious sign. And something good is supposed to happen. And when the same kind of stuff happens on the left-hand side of a man, on the left eye or left arm or left leg, it is considered as inauspicious. So when, for example, when Lord Krishna was going to, go back to his Golok Vrindavan after pastimes here on this planet Earth, a lot of his devotees, they started having bad omens. Their left arm, they experience those sensations in their left eye, all the men, and it is opposite in the ladies. In the ladies, if it happens on the left-hand side, it is considered to be auspicious. And if it happens on the right-hand side, it is considered to be inauspicious. This ties perfectly well with astrology. When they read the palm of a man, they read the palm on the right-hand side, all the what you call the lines and everything. And the same thing, if they have to see on a lady, they read on the left palm of a lady. Okay, so everybody in Vrindavan, they were experiencing auspicious omens. When Mother Rohini came, and what was the auspicious omen? Because when Mother Rohini came, it made Mother Yashoda very happy. Tatra Chananda Mohinyo Sri Yashoda Rohino Yamuna Gange Iva Sanga Sangata Sange Paraspara Parebhyasva Sukha Samuha Muhutu. When Mother Yashoda met with Mother Rohini, she became very happy. Actually, Mother Rohini brought something really auspicious for Mother Yashoda. Because after appearance of Balaram, Krishna's appearance happens, right? So when Mother Rohini came, it is written in Sri Gopal Champu, the next sloka, Vrajaraj Patni cha tasya jeshtamavasya masa trayajata mantarva banitvam paryalocha swabheda vedananeva sat jatam prapaha. So she came in the Jest Mass, and I will show you a small chart I was able to make by the mercy of Krishna and Balaram. But Mother Rohini was pregnant when she came. She was 3 months pregnant when she came. Mother Yashoda can see that when Mother Rohini came, she was pregnant, and the 3rd month of pregnancy was going on. And it was Jest Mass. The name of the month is Jestha. Actually, like we have January, February, March, April, this is how it is named here. So March to April is Chaitra, then Vaisakh, Jest, Ashad, Shravan, Bhadra, Ashwin, etc., etc. Okay. So it was Jest Mass when, sorry, it wasn't Jest Mass. It was Shravan Mass when she came, but she could tell that it was the 3rd month of her pregnancy, and her pregnancy started in Jest Mass. So Mother Yashoda was very happy to see pregnancy of Mother Rohini. What happened is, after Mother Rohini got pregnant, Mother Yashoda, while staying with Mother Rohini, had a wonderful dream. In the dream, she saw that one very beautiful girl appeared from the heart of Nanda Maharaj, and hiding behind the girl is a very, very, very beautiful young boy. And the young boy hiding behind the girl, and the girl in the front, the young boy in the back, they both came out of the heart of Maharaj Nanda, and they entered into the heart of Mother Yashoda. She had a dream like that. And then she dreamt that the young boy who was hiding behind the girl stayed within her heart. And the young girl, moved down, and she established herself in her womb. This is the dream she had. And few months after that dream, she started experiencing pregnancy. Actually, Mother Yashoda and Nanda Baba, they were pretty aged. They were very, very old, and they never had a child for a long time. So they used to go everywhere and worship everybody to get a child. So Nanda Baba and Yashoda, they're very hopeful that when they saw Mother Rohini come in, and when Mother Rohini was pregnant, and they felt the good omens, like they experienced auspicious omens, they were very hopeful that something good will happen in their life by the presence of Mother Rohini. And Srila Jiva Goswami in Gopal Champu writes that by the presence or arrival of Mother Rohini, this auspicious time for Mother Yashoda to become or to bear Krishna within her heart arrived. Atha yoga maya rohinya saptamasikam garbham strayam vidhaya devikyas divam tam styam nijo niyojaya masa. So when Rohini, when she came, she was 3 months pregnant. When she was 7th month pregnant, Krishna ordered Yogamaya that you need to transfer the Lord Balaram from the womb of Mother Devaki to the womb of Mother Rohini. Lord Balaram at that time was 7th month into the womb of Mother Devaki. And here Mother Rohini was also 7 months pregnant. So by the arrangement of Yogamaya, the child in Mother Rohini's womb, the child left the womb, and Balaram came from Mother Devaki into Mother Rohini's womb. Okay, and this is where the science of how Balaram appeared only few days before Krishna comes. Okay, and Tadasva labdha sarva samaya sampadase chaturdase masi sravanatah praka savana varse samasta sukha rohini rohinim guna gananya susasam sita susumam sutam susava. Sita susasam sutam susava. She gave a birth to a white, milkish kind of boy when Chaturdase Masi. Lord Balaram appeared after 14 months. And how 14 months? 7 months he stayed in the womb of Mother Devaki, and 7 months after that he stayed in the womb of Mother Rohini. And by using Gopal Champu, we were able to make this chart. So this is when Mother Rohini came to Vrindavan in July-August time frame, which is Shravana Mahina. Okay. She was 3 months pregnant. That is what Mother Yashoda observed at that time. Okay. And I'm pretty sure, this is very amazing because I felt it was pretty amazing. That's why I'm sharing with you. So this is when my Yashoda had a dream that she saw a boy entering into her heart and going into her womb. 4 months after that, which is Mother Rohini was 7 months pregnant, in Margashira, the transfer from Mother Devaki into Mother Rohini happened. Okay, and right at that time, after 4 months of arrival of Mother Rohini, Maya Yashoda, Krishna entered into Maya Yashoda's womb also. Maya Yashoda became pregnant. So Mother Rohini is 7 months pregnant now. She lost her original child, and Balaram came and entered into her womb. And now here, Mother Yashoda became pregnant, and she's starting her pregnancy. Okay, and when she's starting her pregnancy, similarly, Mother Rohini is starting her pregnancy here with Balaram, and they both share the pregnancy. And just few days, 2 weeks before appearance of Krishna, Lord Dauji appears. And then after 2 weeks, Krishna appears in Vrindavan. And then after 2 weeks, who appears? Sri Radharani appears after 2 weeks. So this is the whole science, how Mother Devaki had Lord Balaram so much longer ago, 1.5 years ago, but still Balaram took 14 months to manifest from the womb of his mother. He stayed 7 months in Mother Devaki, and he stayed 7 months in Mother Rohini's womb. Okay, and then Sri Jiva Goswami explains the beauty of Sri Balaram. He's saying that Sita Susuma Sutam Susava. He's very beautiful. Sandra Subra Mabib Sandra Subra Tavibraja Manataya Purnamasi Chandra Masiva. His beautiful face is like a Purnamasi Chandra. And he's very soft like lotus flower. And then Sihavadu Shavakamiva. How did Lord Balaram look? Sihavadu. Mother Rohini was like a lioness. She looked like a lioness who gave birth to her Savakamiva. She's giving Shavak is another name of lion. Lord Balaram looked like a lion's cub when he appeared. Nirmala, Parimala, Dhara Dharataya, Nava Kamalarni Dhava Kamalanamiva. And he's very nirmal, very pure. Balaram looks very pure. There was no blemish on Lord Balaram's body. And how did Mother Rohini and Balaram look together? Nav Kamalini, Dhaval Kamaliva. Nav Kamalini means the beautiful lotus of Mother Rohini gave birth to Dhaval. Dhaval means whitish, fair complexion. Dhaval Kamaliva. So little bit darkish. Nav Kamalini, like Kamal or lotus is a little pinkish in nature. That pinkish lotus gave birth to a whitish lotus, very fresh white lotus. Sarva Sravana Sangama, Mangalataya Niravadya Vidyata. And how was Lord Balaram appearing along with Mother Rohini? Mother Rohini appeared like the message of scriptures. And after listening that scriptures, Yasasto Mamivacha, when somebody becomes very glorified after listening to the scriptures. So that, Mother Rohini was like that scripture who gave birth to glorification, who is Balaram personified. And Lord Balaram, how did he look? Subranga, Suvaktram. Lord Balaram was Subranga Suvaktram. Subran Suvaktram means Lord Balaram is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's totally free of all the qualities, meaning all the gunas. What is the three gunas? Tamogun, Rajogun, and Sattvagun. So he is indescribable. They say that Krishna is avarchaniya, means he cannot be described in words. But even the person who cannot be described in words, even the person whose beauty cannot be described, he is Suvaktram. He is standing there very beautifully in front of Mother Rohini. Tadivali Lochanam. Tadivali Lochanam, Tadiva means lightning. His eyes, Lochanam, were like lightning. They were flashing like the lightning. Navabda Kesham, and his hair on his body, they were like Navabda. Abda means Abda means cloud. Navabda means newly formed cloud. A newly formed cloud is dark. It has a lot of darkness, full of water. So his hair on his head were like dark cloud. Sarada Bhavigraham, and his body complexion was like the clouds of Saradarutu. Saradarutu, during the winter time, when the clouds come, the clouds are not very much loaded with water. So they appear very much whitish in complexion. So his body was so soft, it was like a cloud, but it was appeared like the cloud from Saradarutu, whitish in complexion. Bhanu Prabhavam, he was as shining, as lustrous as sun himself. Bhanu is the name of sun. Tamasuta Rohinam, that is how the Sut, the son of Rohini, looked. Tataksha Yuktam Sahi Divya Balakaha. And Jiva Goswami uses the word Divya Balakaha to describe that this personality who appeared is Divya. He is not a material personality. He is the first expansion of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then Sri Jiva Goswami writes something very wonderful. Sa Esacha, what are the qualities of this Divya Balaka, of this Supreme Personality of Godhead? Asit Varsma, Sita Varsma. Asit Varsma, Sita Varsma. Sadunuja, Sudi Danujaha. Asit Varsma, Sita Varsma. One, who has no form, but still he has appeared with the form of a whitish complexion. Sadanuja, Suditanuja. He's playing, Jiva Goswami is playing with Sanskrit. He's saying, Sa the Anuja. Anuj, he has a very beautiful younger brother. Anuj is a younger brother. He has a very beautiful younger brother. Who? Krishna himself. Suditanuja. Another name for Danuj is Daitya, demons. He's the killer. Sudit means to kill. He's the killer of the demon. The one who has a beautiful younger brother, Sadanuja, Suditanuja is the killer of the demons. Danuja means demons. Palit Venu ko, Palit Venu, and this is, sorry, hiding my, Palit Venu ko Dalit Dhenu kaha. He is the protector of Dhenu, Palit Dhenu. He's a cowherd boy. Balaram is a cowherd boy. Palit Dhenu. But then Dalit Dhenu kaha. He is the killer of Dhenukasur. He is the Palaka. He is the maintainer and caretaker of cows. But then Dalit Dhenu kaha. He is the killer of Dhenukasur. Pralamba Bahuhu. Pralamba Dhadatiya. He's a Pralamba Bahu. You know, one of the sign of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Pralamba Bahu, Ajana Bahu. Pralamba Bahu means one whose arms are very long. They go up to the knees. Ajana Bahu, they are called Ajana Bahu. They go up to the knees. So he's Pralamba Bahu and he's Pralamba Dhatiya Ita. Pralamba Dhati Ita means Pralamba Sur, the killer of Pralamba Sur. See how Jiva Goswami beautifully, can you imagine the happiness of Jiva Goswami when he's writing the appearance of Lord Balaram? Because when all these great devotees, when they write all the scriptures, they are visualizing the pastime as they are writing. So when they're visualizing, you know, they're ecstatic, you know, when they're writing this. So in his ecstasy, he's now glorifying Lord Balaram. Oh, Lord Balaram, you're Pralamba Bahu. But then you're Pralamba Dhatita. You're killer of Pralamba Sura. Swayam Ramanama. Your name is Rama. But Rama, Ramita, Dvivida, Vidari Itacha. Your name is Rama, but a Rama Ramita. The helper of Lord Rama. Who's the helper of Lord Rama? Monkeys. Rama Ramita, Dvivida, Raitacha. But you are the killer of the monkey Dvivida. The Dvivid gorilla was killed by Lord Balaram. But monkey was his friend of Lord Ramchandra. So even though your name is Rama, you killed the friend of Lord Ramchandra, who's represented by Dvivida gorilla. So this is how Lord Balaram is described. Lord Balaram has killed demons, Dhenukasur and Pralambasur. These demons are explained by Bhaktivinoda Thakur as anarthas in our spiritual life. There are very different kinds of anarthas or offenses, right, that appear within a devotee's life. The offenses come from the previous sinful activities. The offenses can come from the previous pious activities. The offenses can come from not properly executing devotional services, and the offenses can come from offending the devotees, right? So the offenses can come and they manifest in our life in the form of anartha. Artha means the goal of our life. What is the goal of our human life? To establish a loving relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the goal of human life. So that is the artha. What is anartha? Anartha is the one that comes and makes an impediment. It creates a, what do you call, a roadblock in achieving the goal of the human life. So the anarthas are kam, krodh, dambh, lobh, moh, anger, enviousness, greed, different desires to enjoy the senses or the material world and so on. These are the anarthas. So when Lord Balaram, he killed especially two demons, Pralambasur and Dhenukasur. Dhenukasur is personification of ignorance. Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes that Dhenukasur is in a form of a donkey. Dhenuk is, and he is considered to be ignorance personified. So Lord Balaram killed the ignorance. And when Lord Balaram killed the ignorance, therefore Lord Balaram is the supreme spiritual master. Because what does the spiritual master do? He kills the ignorance sitting within our heart. Jnana timira andasya. The darkness of ignorance which is blinding us, that is destroyed, that is killed, that is overcome by the help of spiritual master. And Pralambasur is a representation of false guru. Pralambasur is a representation of false guru. And Lord Balaram, again being the supreme spiritual master, is the destroyer of false guru. People who act as a false guru, by the mercy of Lord Balaram, a devotee is never attracted towards those people. Srila Prabhupada always used to say that whatever you desire, you get. If you desire something cheap, you get something cheap in Krishna consciousness. If you desire something really good, then you get something really good in Krishna consciousness. Or like in US, we say you get what you pay for, right? So sometimes if we want that somebody is, very cheaply giving away Krishna, that, a devotee who really, or a person who really wants to progress seriously in Krishna consciousness, if by some situation, if is going to get attracted to a false guru or something, Lord Balaram comes in the middle and he saves him from that person. And he attracts him towards a spiritual master who can really focus him on the path of Krishna consciousness. So this is Lord Balaram, who came as elder brother of Krishna. Lord Balaram manifests himself as different paraphernalia to serve Krishna. Therefore, the plate that we use to perform Aarti, the Aarti itself, or the temple room, or the altar, or the conch shell, or the plate in which we offer bhoga to Krishna, everything is manifestation of Lord Balaram. Therefore, we should take proper care of all those things, and the devotee should be very careful about all those things in his spiritual life, right? Therefore, Prabhupada called this process Krishna consciousness, meaning you have to be conscious about the presence of Krishna and his associates all the time, 24/7, 365. And when that situation happens, then there is no difference whether you're in material world or whether you're in spiritual world. It is the same situation. Prabhupada used to say that my disciples who are very properly following my instructions, even though they are living in this material world, they are living in the spiritual world. So a devotee has to be careful, one who wants to make progress in Krishna consciousness. We should not make offenses towards Lord Balaram. When we eat small things, when we offer bhoga to Krishna, as soon as the bhoga is done, we should not come and put the plates in the sink where all our other plates where we have eaten is sitting in there. Now you're mixing, Lord Balaram's expansion with all that, which is not very pure. We should right away clean and store it at a very proper place. Whenever we perform Aarti, right away we clean Aarti paraphernalia, store it in a proper place. Even the kartal, the mridanga, or the books, they're all manifestation of Balaram. All the books stand also. So we should be very careful that we don't touch the book stand with our leg and push it with our leg. I see a lot of kirtaniyas, using mridangam, and they just put it on the floor. And they utilize the mridang. One of the key shloka which is being taught to a person who starts learning mridangam is how this mridang is incarnation of Lord Balaram, incarnation of Lord Anantasesa, and how to offer prayers to Lord Balaram in the form of mridangam, and then one should start playing mridangam. It is the mood. It's not that, oh, I'm a big mridangam player. You take the mridangam and you start beating it left and right, as if it is your personal servant. But mridangam is to be very carefully served. Similarly, we have to be always conscious that this mridangam is Lord Balaram. This kartal is Lord Balaram. We cannot just put kartal on the floor. We cannot just put mridangam on the floor. And if we see somebody do that, let's take it, pick it, and put mridangam kartal at the right place, in a proper where it does not, because on the floor, we walk with our feet on the floor. The same place is not considered very auspicious to put Balaram on the floor. I mean, will you take the deity of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra and put it on the floor? No. So similarly, mridangam is deity of Balaram. Kartal is deity of Balaram. And when we start paying attention to these small things, that is called love, because in love, a person starts thinking about the smallest happiness of the person he or she is loving. Isn't that the definition of love? Without expecting anything in return, we try to keep in mind the happiness of the smallest happiness of the person we are loving. These small things. We don't need to be reciting all 700 slokas of Bhagavad Gita or 12,000 slokas of Bhagavatam to become a big devotee. No, not needed. What is needed is the right consciousness. The consciousness to see Balaram as he is. The consciousness to see Krishna as he is. The consciousness to see the devotees as they are. To see the Krishna residing in each and every devotee. To see Lord Balaram residing in the spiritual masters. To see Lord Balaram residing in all the paraphernalia. To see Krishna Balaram residing in each and every particle. And accordingly, live our life with that consciousness all the time. This being conscious of the small things adds up. And that makes Krishna attracted towards us. That makes Lord Balaram attracted towards us. And I think it's 9:15, so I'm not going to go very long anymore, but I want to share one little darshan. There is a place called Davji in Vrindavan. And in that place, even though Balaram is, fair complexion, in that place, Davji, this is the Davji temple. And I think most of us might have been there. And in that Davji temple, there is a very beautiful, tall deity of Davji. And it is about 2 meters tall. You know how much is 2 meters? 1 meter is 3 feet, 3.3. So that's like 6.6 feet tall. And his blackish complexion. And in one hand, he's holding a flute. And in one hand, he's holding a container from which he's drinking Varuni. This Lord Davji is self-manifested, and he's installed by Vajranabhji in Sri Vrindavan Dham. And this is a close-up of Davji. And Davji resides there with his wife, Mother Revati. They're not standing together. Davji is facing in this temple here. This is the temple. Davji is facing here. And this place here, if you face this way, this is where Mother Revati's temple is. They're not, but then there's a small window between the two rooms of Mother Devaki and Balaram, and Mother Revati can see Lord Balaram from that window. And there is a one very beautiful line written about, this is the Mother Revati's temple. And there is a very beautiful line written on Mother Revati's temple. It says, Dao Dao sab kahe maiya kahe na koi, Dao ke darbar mein maiya kahe so hoy. So everybody comes and they keep calling out to Dao. Dao means elder brother. Dao means elder brother in Braj Bhasha. So everybody is calling out for Balaram, for elder brother Dao. But really Dao listens to his wife Revati. So in Dao's kingdom, what happens? Whatever Mother Revati says, that happens. So rather than coming and asking for things to Dao, come to Mother Revati and ask at the lotus feet of Mother Revati, and she will fulfill all your desires. So if we go to Vrindavan, please go to the temple of Davji and fall at the lotus feet of Mother Revati and ask her that, please bless us that your husband, Sri Davji, manifests in our heart and He removes all our ignorance and help us see the beautiful, beautiful face of Krishna and His associates, and help us establish our long-lost relationship, eternal relationship with Krishna. So that should be our prayer to Lord Balaram. I will end here, Dhuri Krishna Prabhu, with your permission, and if we can open up, if there is time, for any questions or any comments.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much. Any questions or any comments anyone would like to share, please? We have good 10 minutes, so please ask. Want to share something? You'll have to unmute yourself. Everybody is on mute. So if you are going to ask, you have to unmute yourself. So maybe I will start. I have a question, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for wonderful nectar. You took us to Vrindavan Dham, to Dauji. So, so when we hear these pastimes of Supreme Lord or His associates, sometimes they look like a story of a normal person. So what should be our consciousness, or how should we understand them, or maybe why should we hear and read about these pastimes, and how can it help us in our daily japa, daily mantra meditation that we do in the morning?
So the question, if I repeat, Prabhu, is, the pastimes of Krishna and his associates, they sometimes seem like a pastimes of a common person. And why should we listen to those pastimes, and how do they help us? Lord Krishna and his associates, they come for a couple important reasons. Dharma sanstarpanarthaya, to establish the religion. But then, more important to that, paritranaya sadhunam, to give happiness to his devotees. So when they come here and to give happiness to their devotees, they interact with the devotees. And that is called pastimes, lila. And when people hear those things, they feel attracted. For example, I'm using a very gross example. All the movie stars, right? If a person who has no idea who a movie star is, will never get attracted to the movie star. But when they see some person performing some extraordinary things on a screen, and he looks very attractive, he or she looks very attractive, and then you read those magazines where they talk about this and that about them, they're glorified actually, right? It's called propaganda or whatever. When you hear somebody's glory, your heart gets attracted towards that. You see them, you can see one person kicking 50 people at the same time on a movie screen. Even though we know it's not wrong, it attracts us. We know it's fake, but it attracts us, right? And our heart starts, getting attracted towards that. So whenever we see something fantastic, something extraordinary, beauty, wealth, knowledge, extraordinary knowledge, or extraordinary strength, or prowess, or something, it attracts our heart. Therefore, when Krishna and his associates, when they come here, they also, in their pastimes, they exhibit certain qualities, right, which attracts the devotee's heart, the heart of even common person like me. Okay? So Krishna says that Sravanam Kirtanam Krishna, by hearing the katha in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna says, why should one listen to Srimad Bhagavatam? Because Bhagavatam is Punya Shravana Kirtanaha. Bhagavatam is full of Krishna and his devotees' pastimes. By hearing the pastimes of Krishna and his devotees, our heart starts getting attracted towards them. A very common, the example that we discussed about movie stars or any famous people. How do we get attracted to them? Once we hear about them through somebody, right? About their glories or their magnanimity or their, charity or something. And that attracts our heart by hearing about their qualities. When we hear about the qualities of Krishna and his devotees, when we see that how he loves unconditionally his devotees, how the devotees love unconditionally Krishna, it attracts our heart. Actually, all of us are looking for unconditional love within our heart, right? And Krishna's pastime is full of unconditional love for his devotees, and the devotees' unconditional love for Krishna. Total unconditional. And so much unconditional love that when Putana, she came to kill Krishna, she smeared poison on her breast. And she tried Krishna as if she is trying to feed the baby Krishna the milk from her breast. Even though she was trying to kill Krishna by feeding poison, Krishna just accepted her gesture of her trying to feed him milk from her breast. And he gave her the position of his mother in the spiritual world. This is the compassion. This is the love of Krishna for his devotees. When you read about all these things, all we want in our life is such unconditional love. And Krishna's and his devotees' pastimes are full of unconditional love. Why they are madhur? Why they are full of happiness? Because there is unconditional love. Anything, you can have. I'll give you another gross example. You may love Starbucks coffee like your life, okay? And you love that coffee very much. But then if somebody gives that coffee to you and he throws it at your face and he says so many bad words to you and he abuses you verbally, the coffee that he gives you, even though that is your favorite coffee, it will not be appealing to you. It will taste like poison to you. So it's not the taste in the coffee, it's the love. Why does mother's food taste the best? Because it is the love that gets, the grains that get impregnated by that love. It is the love that, we're not eating food, we're eating the love in the food, and therefore it is the love. That is the only element that each and every individual living entity is seeking. And that is the only thing that can satisfy each and every living entity, nothing else. You can surround yourself with billions of dollars, but if you don't have anybody to love you, that billions of dollars are like poisonous snakes to you. You derive no pleasure from that. You may have nothing in your life, but you have a loving family who loves you unconditionally. It becomes a whole world to you. You don't feel the absence of anything else. So when we read Krishna's pastimes, Krishna, that's why he comes again and again and interacts with his devotees to show how in the spiritual world there is this unconditional love flowing within the devotees and Krishna. And not just between Krishna and devotees, it is between the devotees themselves also. How the devotees interact with each other. Actually speaking, we get attracted to Krishna consciousness because when we see the devotees, when they meet with each other and the love they have there for each other, unconditional love, without wanting anything in return. They want to make the other person happy. So when we see that kind of group, we want to become that part of that group. We want that is satisfying us, right? That is the only thing that satisfies. And that love is translated as bhakti in Sanskrit. That love is translated as devotion. So when Krishna comes, his pastimes are full of love, devotion. This is the love which is being exchanged in all his pastimes. When we read that, it attracts us. We want to be loved like that. We want to be part. There's an instance when Krishna, when he left Vrindavan, all the cows, especially the calves, they stopped drinking milk from their mothers. And the cows, they didn't know what to do. Sometimes they would just stand in the Gaushala. Sometimes they would just run like a mad person in the forest searching for Krishna. And when Uddhav Krishna's friend, he came from Mathura, and Uddhav looked just like Krishna. So when he came from Mathura, the cows mistook him for Krishna, and they all came running. When you hear that kind of love, you want to be, and I did not do any justice in saying this in three sentences. There's this thick volume written on how the cows reciprocated with Uddhav when he came. Such love, when you see, everything else evaporates. We want to be part of that love. Prabhu, it is love only that each and every living entity is searching in the whole world. If you squeeze all scriptures, if you squeeze all pastimes, the only thing that comes out, the juice, is the love between the devotees, amongst the devotees, and between devotees and Krishna. And that is what we want. We, soul, we, not this body, not this senses, because that is all gross, But us, who are the real us, the Atma, that is what that Atma, the soul, is yearning for. Therefore, when we listen to these pastimes of Krishna, our mind gets attracted. All the anarthas, all the impurities which is sitting in our mind, it starts getting washed away. I'll give you one very simple example. If a boy falls in love with a girl, that girl may not be the most beautiful girl in the world. She might be an average looking girl. But if a boy falls in love with a girl and love falls in love with a boy, right away, every other girl becomes ugly to him. And every other man becomes ugly to the other girl. So before that, he might be looking at beauty here and there, but after falling in love, the love overpowers so much that he doesn't look anywhere else. He's seeing everything in that person. So similarly, so the impurity starts getting, washed out as soon as the love enters in our heart. Before, if we like something to eat, and let's say we like to eat chocolate, and if our, husband or wife likes to eat the chocolate, our child, he or she likes to eat chocolate, and we found a chocolate, we don't right away put the chocolate in the mouth. Before we would do that, but now we would say, oh, my son likes this chocolate. Let me take some for him at home. Let me give it to him, and then I'll eat if some is left. So first, the greed or the lust or the desire to eat the chocolate, as soon as we see it, that desire is washed out due to the love of our child. We didn't do anything to wash that impurity. But when we started loving our child, that thing got washed away on its own. So similarly, when we read about Krishna, when we hear his pastimes, his loving pastimes, and when slowly our mind starts getting attracted, because that is what we want. So it will get attracted. It's like the homing beacon. As no matter from where you drop anything on earth, it comes and falls on the earth. It's like it's a natural attraction. There is no other way. It cannot go any other way. So as soon as we come to a situation where we hear the pastimes of Krishna, our heart, which is yearning, real love, starts getting attracted. When it starts getting attracted, all the impurities within our heart starts getting washed away. Hirdayantosti abhadrani vidunoti suhuritu satam nasta prayasva abhadresu nityam bhagavad sevaya. Vidun abhadrani, whatever abhadra, bhadra means pious, abhadra means impious. Whatever is impious, abhadra, sitting in our heart, slowly srinvantam swakatha Krishna punya saravana kirtanam, by listening to your pastimes, Krishna and Krishna's devotees, all these impurities, slowly, they start getting washed away. You don't have to wash it separately. It's just a love that now all that thing doesn't become attractive anymore. A person could have the strongest tooth. I grew up in India, and we used to have the early toothpaste. There was no toothpaste when I'm an old guy, and there used to be powders. There was monkey chop dantamanjan. It was a black charcoal powder we used to use, and then there was datun, which is a neem tree branch, and from village we get that. Then in city we discovered there is something called toothpaste. So there was a toothpaste called Binaka, or something like that. And the ad was, whoever used to brush using that toothpaste, he would take what is akhrot, a walnut? He would take a walnut and he would squeeze it with his teeth, and he will break the walnut shell and he can eat. So he has a strong teeth. But a person with that strong teeth, if you ask him to, drink a lot of lemon juice, his teeth gets perverted by the lemon juice, and now he cannot even break a grain of rice with his teeth, right? The same teeth which would crack an a walnut, cannot even break the boiled rice, because now the lemon has totally messed up his teeth. Similarly, the heart, which is full of so much impurities, the senses that want so much sensual pleasure, everything, as soon as we start associating with Krishna Katha, it acts like a lemon on the teeth. That all thing, we don't even have taste for it anymore. We just don't want it anymore. Suddenly the heart. So when we listen to Krishna's pastimes, it cleans up our heart. When our heart is cleaned up, and when we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, that sound, Krishna in the form of sound, directly from our tongue enters into the heart. Before, it tries to enter, but there is a lot of layers of anartha. But by listening to Krishna Katha, and just by even uttering the name, the holy name of Krishna, it starts getting washed out, all the anartha. And the heart becomes pure. It becomes so pure, it can accept, the sound vibrations, everything very naturally. And bhakti starts sprouting. One last thing, I'm sorry for a long explanation. I don't get to talk nowadays much, so I utilize this kind of I exploit this kind of situation. But you said that he performs pastimes like ordinary people, and the reason he does that is because we can relate to him. If you look at Srimad Bhagavatam, the married life of Krishna is shown. And in there, Narad Muni goes to visit Krishna. He wants to see how Krishna is living with his wives. So he goes and he sees Krishna and he says, my God, Krishna is behaving like a henpecked husband. He wakes up and he stands in front of his wife, and sometimes he's massaging his wife's leg. And sometimes his wife gets angry and he just, standing saying, oh, I'm very sorry, and so on. He's very loving, he's very caring, he's very respectful. And so he's behaving like one of us, so that we can relate. Another example of listening, the impact of listening to Krishna's pastimes, is Rukmani never saw Krishna in her life, but she used to hear about Krishna all the time. Because she heard about Krishna, she fell in love with Krishna just by hearing about him. That's the power of listening to the pastimes, right? And this is what the TV does to us. It's all propaganda. Why do we want iPhone 50 or 20 or 90? Because there's propaganda. We can listen to the glories of iPhone and Samsung Notes and all. And by listening to the glory of all these wonderful products, we want this product. Similarly, by listening to the glory of Krishna, hopefully we want Krishna. So advertisement was started by Krishna. Is it okay?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you.
I don't think anybody else will now dare to ask another question.
We hope we can hear more Krishna Katha more frequently. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. Anyone has any question? This is we can take maybe one more question. It's already 9:35. Okay. If no questions, no comments. We can go to the next part, which will be we will offer Narsimha Day prayers for each other, for our families, for the whole society. We are still going through tough times. So we'll together pray for the whole society and to give us the strength to go through these tough times, difficult times. I was hoping Darsh can sing, but he's not here yet. Madhuri, is Akhilesh Prabhu available?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay, no problem. No problem. maybe I can request Prabhuji, if you're okay, you can sing Nrsimha prayer. Padmanabh Prabhu.
Sure, Prabhu, no problem.
Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhuji, you will need Mridangam, somebody to play.
So how do we sing? It's all everybody together or follow call and response?
A call and response doesn't work out very well because of the lag.
Very
So,
good. Okay. So we
yeah.
can sing together, right?
Yeah. Or maybe just you can sing and we can just recite on the mute.
Okay. No, we'll open it up
Alto-
so I can also
okay.
listen to all the
The
devotees.
floor is open.
Anil Aras Prabhu, I can listen to Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So I will share my screen with the prayers. Give me a second. And just a quick announcement before we go into the prayers. We'll have a Janmashtami coming up on Tuesday, August 11th. So like today, we are celebrating the appearance of Lord Balaram. So it's the appearance day of Lord Krishna on Tuesday, August 11th. And there will be a program in the temple, ISKCON of Harrisburg. Of course, with all the precautions of COVID related safety measures. So if you feel comfortable and planning to go to temple, there's an option to go to Harrisburg. The program starts at 6 o'clock in the evening. And next weekend, we will not have this Friday, the regular Friday program. It's going to be a Bhakti retreat. The information is sent to everybody. So if you're available, please join us for the whole weekend, Friday through Sunday, or whatever time works out for you. Feel free to join. I will share the Zoom link. And then we have to meet for to decide about our celebration for this year, Janmashtami, Radhashtami celebration. So I will try to figure out, I will reach out to all of you and see what time and day works out for everybody. Thank you. And we'll go to the prayers. Yes, Prabhuji.
Right. Namaste Narasimhaya Praladadaya Hiranyakashi Purvaksha Kilatankanakaya Ito Nrsinga Bharato Nrsinga Yato Yato Amitato Nrsinga Bahir Nrsinga Hridaya Nrsinga Narasingha Madhim Charana Prapade Tava Kara Kamal Pare Nakam Adabhuta Sringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Danu Keshabadrita Narahari Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Pralad Maharaj Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Pralad Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Bhakti Vigna Vinasak Srila Shri Lakshmi Narasimha Bhagavan Srila Prahlad Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai.
I was just told I was on mute. I was speaking. I was just thanking Prabhuji again. I know it's a time stretch for you. you have to take care of, Abhay. Thank you so much for enlightening us on this special topic of Lord Balaram. Thank you to all the devotees for your association. And this is also a recorded lecture. So if you want to hear it again, it will be on our YouTube channel, Berks Bhakti Yoga YouTube. And next weekend, we will not have the usual Friday program. It will be a Bhakti retreat, and the details are already sent out, and I will send a reminder as well. So maybe we can take the darshan of Kishore Kishoriji. I forgot about that. Hopefully everybody can see Kishore Kishoriji.
Kishore Kishori ki jai.
Yeah. Thank you again. Hari Bol. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Ariana and Jack. Thank you for joining. I forgot to ask for your email address. So if you feel comfortable, you can share your email addresses with me on the chat, and we can keep you informed of our future programs. So you are most welcome to join us. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Uncle.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandat pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Didi.
Pranam.
Hope everyone is doing good. Everyone is doing good, hopefully.
Yes. Yes.
Very nice. Very nice. We are missing quite a few devotees. I think everybody have started going out now. Seems like. Okay, take care, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Ariana. I got your email address. Thank you. Haribol.